because I'm usually reading from books when I'm here, and I don't have this book, but this book is called Voyage, and I've got my cover for it. It was when I did an India photojournal travel book about visiting India as a vegetarian and as a female, which is fascinating as a vegetarian and frightening as a female.
Yes.
But in the index area of that, I had 2 poems that were about vegetarianism, and I am going to share them with you today. This one was written in 95, which you'll be able to tell by the politicians I choose. This is called Everything Was Alive and Dying. I had a dream the other night. I walked out of the city to a forest, and there were neatly paved bicycle paths and trash cans every 50 feet. And trash every 10. And then a raccoon walked right up to me. She had a few little baby raccoons following her. It was so cute. I wish I had my camera. And she spoke to me, and she said, "Thank you. Thank you for not buying furs. I know you humans are pretty smart. You have to be able to figure out a way to keep yourselves warm without killing me." And I said, "You know they don't do it for warmth. They do it for fashion. They do it for power." And she said, I know, but thank you anyway." And then I walked a little further, and there was a stray cat. And she still had her little neon collar on and a little bell. And she walked a few feet, and she stretched her front paws. Oh my gosh, it looked so darling. And then she walked right up to me, and she said, "Thank you." And I said, "For what?" And she just looked at me for a moment. Her little ears were standing straight up. And she said, "In some countries, I'm considered a delicacy." And I said, how do you know of these things?" And she said, "When somebody eats one of you, word gets around." And then she looked up at me and she said, "And in some countries, the cow is sacred. Wouldn't they love to see how you slit their throats and hang them upside down so they're still beating hearts? I'll drain out all the blood for you." She said, "Isn't it funny how arbitrary your decision to eat meat is?" And I said, "Don't put me in that category. I don't eat meat." And she said, "I know." And then I walked deeper into the forest, managed to get away from the picnic tables and the outhouses that lined the forest edges. The roaring cars gave way to the rustling of tree branches, crackling of fallen leaves under my step. When the wind tunneled through, the wind whistled and sang as it flew past the bark and leaves. I walked, I listened to the crack of the dead branches under my feet, and I could feel a branch against my shoulder, and in my dream I looked up and I could hear the trees speak to me. And I said, "Thank you for letting the endangered animals live here amongst us. We do think they are so pretty, and it would be a shame to see them go. And thank you for recycling paper, because you're saving us for just a little while longer. We've been on this planet for so long, embedded in the earth. We do have souls, you know. Well, we cling with our roots. We don't want to let go." And I said, "But I don't do much. I don't do enough." And I said, "We know. But we'll take what we can get." And then I woke up in a sweat. So tell me, Bob Dole. So tell me, Newt Gingrich. So tell me, Pat Buchanan. So tell me, Jesse Helms. If you woke up from that dream, would you be in a sweat too? Do you even know why we should save the rainforest? Oh, preserve the delicate balance. Just tear the whole forest down. What difference does it make? Just put in some orange groves, or concentrated orange juice can be a little cheaper. Well, did you know that medical researchers have a very, very hard time trying to come up with synthetic cures for diseases on their own? It helps them out if they could first find a substance in nature, and a tree that appears in the rainforest with a cure, maybe the only one of its species, or one like it might be 2 miles away instead of right next to it. I wonder how many cures we've destroyed to plant more orange groves. Serves us right. You know my motives aren't selfless. I know these things are worthwhile in my life. I like to find a cure to these diseases before I die of them. And I'm not just a vegetarian because I think it's wrong to kill an animal unless I have to. I also know the excess protein pulls the calcium away from my bones and gives me osteoporosis, and the excess fat gives me heart attacks. And I also know that we could be feeding 17 times more people with the same resources used for meat production. You know, I know you're looking at me and calling me an extremist, but I'm sitting here looking around me, looking at all the destruction caused by family values and thinking that the right, moral, non-violent decisions are also those extreme ones. Everything is linked here. We destroy our animals. Just so that we can be wasteful and violent. We destroy our plants. We destroy our earth. We're even destroying our air. We wreak havoc on the soil, on the atmosphere. We dump our waste into our lakes. We pump aerosol cans and exhaust pipes. And you tell me I'm extreme. And these animals and forests keep calling out to me. The oceans, the wind. And I'm beginning to think that we just keep doing it because we don't know how to stop. And deep inside we feel the pain of all that we killed, and we try to control it by popping a chemical-filled painkiller. And we live through the guilt by taking caffeine, nicotine, morphine, and we keep ourselves thin with saccharin, and we keep ourselves sane with our alcohol poisoning, and when that's not enough, maybe a line of coke. Or maybe shoot ourselves in the head in front of the mirror in the master bedroom. Or maybe just take some pills, walk into the garage, turn on the car, and just fall asleep. In the wild, you have no power over anyone else. Now that we're civilized, we create our own wild. And maybe when we have all this power, the only choice we have is to destroy ourselves. And so we do. I have one more for you that's shorter, I promise, and it is called On a High Horse Like This. I listened to a hunter from Africa say, "All life is sacred." And he said this after separating a small, thin, non-venomous snake from around a large African hawk-like bird's neck. Because, you see, the bird attacks snakes, but that snake couldn't eat this one large bird after it died, so that would have been a senseless death. All life is sacred, you say. So I couldn't help but think, as a hunter, do you pray for the sacred dead after you've killed it? I mean, I don't usually vocalize when I'm on a high horse like this. And I've had to explain myself to meat eaters that no, these aren't leather shoes that I wear. I'm a vegetarian, though I still have to feign a smile and commiserate with men eating slaughtered animal. Because, you see, I'd look like a fool for having beliefs. People don't want to hear about a moral choice different from their own. I mean, we're Americans. If it's not human, or maybe a dog or a cat, eat it. It's that simple. But I married a hunter, a Marine who served our country, and he told me that every time he killed an animal, a part of him felt a regretful twinge of pain when he killed his prey. The prey that he searched for with the weapon he could use before anything was close enough to be an enemy. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting on my high horse again. It's convenient that people can get their kill through the grocery store without getting any blood on their hands. Anything to stop everyone from thinking about what they're doing. Because I've heard that killing something makes you feel something. And I thought...